Hello, Lagos. Make we yarn.
Hello, if this POS matter, don't pass your call. Person go swipe, alert no enter. Before you know it, jump.
Wait, wetin really happen?
Then they use fake alert, they worry us.
Okay, so Mona, listen, if you dey do POS business, no expose your alert.
Hello, Ogbuefi. They don't walk that bar road where they worry for our local government for years.
This one sweet me, I no lie you. Because you know what? Development wey dey work, it deserve loudspeaker. Now why we dey here be that? For here, we no dey abuse, we dey bring solution. My name, it is Ikechukwu Oyemike, aka Ogbuefi Ishegwari.
Make we yarn every weekday from 10 a.m. go reach 12 o'clock on Top the Eye 95.9 FM.
The economy is changing, technology is advancing, industries are evolving. The question is, are your skills keeping up? Today's job market rewards adaptability. New skills create new opportunities, and continuous learning increases earning power. Whether it's digital literacy, technical training, financial education, or entrepreneurship, investing in your skills is one of the smartest investments you can make. Because buildings and machines drive development, but skilled people drive economies. Learn more, earn more, contribute more. Empower yourself, strengthen the workforce, build the future. This message supports sustainable economic development.
Housing infrastructure as a driver of economic growth. In virtually every nation, the discourse on economic growth often revolves around output, foreign investment, technology, and human capital development. Yet, one element that remains underexplored but profoundly fundamental is housing infrastructure. Housing is more than shelter. It is an economic commodity, a social stabilizer, and a catalyst for development. From job creation to stimulating demand in allied industries, and from serving as collateral for wealth creation to enabling urban renewal, housing infrastructure stands at the heart of sustainable economic advancement. At the core of modern economies, housing represents both a consumption good and an investment asset. For households, it is often the most valuable property they own. For governments, housing development is a visible marker of social responsibility, while for economies, it serves as a growth engine with multiplier effects across sectors. According to Bayo Olaoye, veteran journalist with SOUQ News Television, well-planned housing infrastructure is not just about erecting buildings. When integrated with urban planning, it prevents slum expansion, enhances livability, and boosts productivity. World Bank estimates show that the real estate and construction sector contributes between 7% and 14% of global GDP, depending on the region. In advanced economies, such as United States, housing-related activities, construction, real estate, mortgage finance, home improvement, and property services are major drivers of employment and wealth creation. In emerging economies like Nigeria, housing contributes about 3.1% of GDP, though with vast untapped potential. Its influence cuts across financial markets, labor absorption, raw material demand, and energy consumption patterns. One of the clearest pathways through which housing drives growth is job creation. Development requires diverse skilled and unskilled labor, from architects and engineers to masons, electricians, and artisans. The construction phase alone is labor-intensive and generates immediate employment. Beyond that, housing stimulates growth in allied sectors such as cement, steel, timber, and glass. Industries producing furniture, interior decor, and home appliances thrive as household spending increases, while financial institutions expand their mortgage and insurance portfolios. The International Labour Organization, ILO, estimates that each housing unit constructed generates between 5 and 7 jobs, depending on project complexity. In countries grappling with high youth unemployment, this represents a powerful avenue for labor absorption and poverty reduction. Furthermore, housing facilitates wealth accumulation and capital formation. Unlike consumer goods that depreciate, housing retains or increases in value. For many households, home ownership is the foundation of financial security and upward mobility. Housing assets also serve as collateral for credit, driving entrepreneurship and industrial growth. However, in many developing nations, underdeveloped housing finance systems limit credit access, stifling broader economic potential. Expanding housing infrastructure can therefore deepen financial systems, democratize wealth, and strengthen the foundation for inclusive growth. As the United Nations projects that nearly 70% of the global population will live in urban areas by 2050, nations like Nigeria must treat housing as a strategic tool for urban renewal and sustainable development. Cities with adequate housing attract investment, foster innovation, and enhance livability, while poor housing conditions breed overcrowding, insecurity, and economic inefficiency. In essence, housing infrastructure is not merely about buildings, it's about building economies. I'm Moyosore Adibi, SOUQ News TV.
We've got just what you need right here at Femi Wash Media. Call it the Midas Touch, and you wouldn't be wrong. Let us record, produce, mix, and master your audio like nobody does. Reach us on our contact today for the best quality job.
I love cocoa because of my everyday cup of coffee. You may not be a lover of coffee like me, but I want to believe that you would like to make money from cocoa if you have your way around it, isn't it? This is Cashcraft, where we share with you insights on how to make money out of different business ideas you might already know but feel uninterested. You might even not be aware and just feeling lost in the crowd trying to find what best suits you. Whether you know or not, it can only get better when you are open to more knowledge and great ideas. My name is Grace Komolafe, and I want you to join me as I spy into the cocoa business. No hypes, just what works. Everybody knows cocoa, but not everyone knows the many things it's used for. When you hear cocoa, your mind jumps straight to the chocolate, sweet, dark, rich chocolate. But cocoa is far more than a one-trick bean. Cocoa comes from the cocoa tree, Theobroma cacao, but the part used for cocoa and all the other products is the bean, which grows inside the tree's pod. The cocoa tree produces large, colorful pods. Inside each pod are 20 to 50 cocoa beans, surrounded by sweet pod. The beans are the real stars. They are fermented, dried, roasted, and processed to produce cocoa solids, cocoa butter, and chocolates. Cocoa is rich in fat. Beyond chocolates, it is used for food and beverage, beauty and skincare, pharmaceuticals, agriculture and industry, health and wellness. Now let's talk business. Starting a cocoa farming business can be rewarding, especially in tropical regions where the crop thrives. Here are key tips to help you begin. 1. You need to understand the crop. Cocoa grows best in humid tropical climates like West Africa, South America, and Southeast Asia. It needs plenty of rainfall, shade, and rich, well-drained soil. And it starts yielding from 3 to 5 years after planting. 2. Get training or mentorship. Learning from experienced cocoa farmers or attending agricultural workshops can help a great deal. Likewise, understanding the life cycle, such as nursery period to transplanting, maintenance, harvesting, drying and fermenting remains very important. Usually, cocoa trees begin their journey in a nursery where seeds from high-yielding varieties are planted in fiber pods or plastic bags. These seedlings grow quickly, and in just a few months, they are ready to be transplanted to the main farm. 3. Choose the right variety. Select high-yield and disease-resistant cocoa varieties like CRI series from Ghana or Amazonia and Trinitario hybrids. Number 4. Secure land. Choose land in a cocoa-friendly zone. Test the soil to ensure it's fertile and free from waterlogging. 5. Set up a nursery. Germinate seeds in polybags or trays for 3 to 4 months before transplanting. Alternatively, buy seedlings from a certified nursery. 6. Land preparation and planting. Clear the land and provide shade. Cocoa doesn't like direct sunlight. Space your cocoa trees 3 times 3 meters apart. Include shade trees like banana or plantain in the early years. We move to 7. Now, regular maintenance. Weeding, pruning, mulching, and pest disease control are crucial. So, apply manure or fertilizer as needed. Number 8 tips you need to know is harvest and post-harvest handling. Cocoa pods are ready when they turn yellow or orange. Harvest with care. Don't damage the tree. Ferment beans 5 to 7 days and dry them thoroughly for quality. And now it's time to make the cash. The number 9 tips is to market and sell. Connect with local cocoa buyers, processors, or cooperatives. Remember that quality beans fetch better prices. Hence, focus on good fermentation and drying. Lastly, I bring you the number 10 tip. Think long term. Cocoa is a long-term investment, so be ready for it. No complaints or over-agitation. Consider forming or joining a farmer cooperative for support and better access to resources. May I add that to begin a cocoa farming business, it is important to establish a comprehensive business plan. This plan should encompass key aspects such as the business description, product offerings, organizational structure, marketing strategies, competitive analysis, operational procedures, and financial details. These elements are crucial for laying a solid foundation to successfully launch and grow your cocoa farming venture. Kindly do a very detailed research to support the tips I just shared with you. So when you get in, you can come out with encouraging profits. Note, this is not a professional guide. It is just a heads up, a way to call your attention or pull you out of the lost crowd, so you can begin to think differently and think business. Until I see you again, I am Grace Komalafe, signing out on Cashcraft.
My name is Shino Ogbadegeshi. I'm the CEO of Gozi Micro Insurance. Continue to watch SOUQ News.
Adenike Adeyemi, Executive Director of Faith Foundation. Keep watching SOUQ News.
My name is Shepherd Michael Adewale Onofuye. I enjoy you all to always watch SOUQ News TV.
Hey everyone, Majuli Obaje here representing Gigi. Keep watching SOUQ News, okay? Stay updated with SOUQ News.
My name is Aton Keme. I am the head of MSME Banking. Please keep watching SOUQ News and stay glued to SOUQ News.
I recommend that more and more people should watch SOUQ News because they deal with business news.
Hi, my name is Amaka Wokolo. I am the director of the Faith Institute at Faith Foundation. Keep watching SOUQ News.
drop makes a hole in a stone, not by force, but by consistent dripping. Nothing describes these women more apt than her indomitable and consistent drive for excellence. Born Bilikisu Abiodun Moturayo Omobalanle Adekola on December 24, 1962, into the family of Alhaji Abdulmoshood Adekola, the first grandson of the first Alhaji in the city of Ibadan, and a Cameroonian mother, Mrs. Hannah Aduke Adekola, in the ancient city of Ibadan, Oyo State. While her mother was still pregnant with her, left for England to further his education. And while she was pretty much young, her mother left the country to go join her husband, to return while she was 8 years. Meanwhile, she was left to be cared for by her grandmother. She was registered in a private boarding primary school at the age of 4.
My parents had me. My father went off to England to go to school before I was born. He left my mother pregnant with me. My mother had me, and before I was a year old, left to join her husband in England, and I was left with my grandmother. I grew up with my grandmother before my parents came back like 8 years after. Spent my first, from at age 4 or 5, I was sent into a boarding nursery school. I lived in boarding school at a very early age because my parents wanted to protect me from becoming a local Ibadan girl.
And she usually attributes these to her early independence and wisdom. Omo Agbanimi, some of her friends sometimes poke fun at her wisdom, which is way beyond her age.
I was raised by my grandmother, so I'm a bit of an old woman in my brain, in how I think, as my friends say.
Her foray into business started at a very young age at her grandmother's shop where she sells salt. Little did she know that this was going to stand her in good stead in life.
My first exposure to business was my grandmother's little shop where she sold salt. And I used to love to sit behind her little kiosk and help her to sell the salt. But who knew I was being trained for business in my future?
While at secondary school, she participated in the literary debating group, excelling in it, which made her consider a career in law, though that didn't last. Also, it is worthy of note that Ibukun Awoshika could hold her own in athletics, earning her the nickname Rabbit because she could really run.
As an athlete, if you want to run, and I used to be fast, they used to call me the Rabbit.
Unsure of what career path she was going to settle for, she considered becoming many things at one point or the other of her life. After secondary school, she thought of becoming a medical doctor, but she couldn't stand the sight of a cadaver, so she let go of that idea. Later on, architecture was another fancy that caught her attention. Similarly, she also considered becoming a chartered accountant. Finally, only see she could work in a bank.
I thought I wanted to be a doctor. Then I found out that they work with real dead bodies. I changed my mind very quickly. I then thought, you know what? I'd like to be an architect. I was good in sciences and had a problem if parents sentence you to science when you're good at both. So I ended up in Ife to study chemistry. By the end of my first year, I realized how much I hated chemistry. I could pass it, but I didn't love it. So then I thought, you know, I'd make a good lawyer. I debated throughout school. I used to represent my school in school's debate. So everybody knows that I can win an argument. So I gave it everything trying to change to law. I used to go and sit outside the door of the dean of law. And then one day the man said, come, what do you want? I want to change to law. Is that why you've been sitting outside of my office? Yes, sir. Okay, if I only take one person from another department next year, it will be you.
After the completion of her undergraduate degree at the University of Ife, she went for the compulsory one-year National Youth Service Corps (NYSC) in Kano State, where she worked as an audit trainee at Akitola Williamson Co., which later became Deloitte.
For youth service, I did everything to make sure they sent me to an accounting firm. They first sent me to a Muslim school to go and teach. That was easy to solve. I just wore a dress off my shoulder. I went to report. I was immediately rejected. Once they rejected me, I went back to the posting room and waited there for days until they sent me to Akintola Williams & Co.
Although she was later given full employment after her service year, she felt becoming an accountant wasn't a thing.
You would have thought that having gone through all that trouble, accounting would be the love of my life. When I got there, within the 1 year of my youth service, I realized how boring accounting is to me. Because they had all the processes somebody else had thought about before. All I had to do was open old dusty files from company to company without imagination or initiative. I'm a very restless human being. That was not going to work. So I finished the work. I did well. They offered me permanent employment, but I said, thank you, but no thank you. Why? Because at that moment, I had come to a realization that that was not the vision for my life.
After returning home, she joined Alibert Nigeria Limited, a furniture company, as showroom manager, in a word, only to kill time. She only stayed for 3.5 months. She left to begin a furniture manufacturing company called Quibis Limited in 1989, just months before her 26th birthday. The company later grew into SOUQ Chair Center Limited, following a venture merger with SOUQ SA and Guarantee Trust Bank in 2004.
But the first job I could find 1 week after was in a furniture company. So I went there to kill time. My kill time project has resulted in 30 years of investment of my life in building a manufacturing group in furniture. So it was never the plan of my life. So some of you will accidentally find your purpose.
One could only wonder what had led her not only to compete, but to thrive in a male-dominated terrain. With over 30 years in business, Ibukun Awoshika is a woman to reckon with, encouraging more women to participate in the business terrain. Her passion to see the girl child, not just to be educated, but much more, to learn to own our own value and trade with it when there is need for it. Her lifelong ambition is to see herself die empty.
My biggest ambition in life is to die empty. Totally empty. That no talents, no giftings, no opportunities, nothing that I was born to do, that I have the capacity to do, that I do not do.
Following her remarkable achievements, she's been conferred with different doctorates, including one in business, entrepreneurship and human capacity development from the Lagos State University, Ojo. Similarly, she was given a honorary doctorate of business administration from the Obafemi Awolowo University and another from the Olabisi Onabanjo University, Agoiwoye, Ogun State. Apart from our entrepreneurial prowess, Ibukun Awoshika is an ordained minister of the gospel, a presenter, writer, and a TV host.
The Bible tells us that let every man be what? A liar. And let who alone be true? Let God alone be true.
She hosts a television program called Business His Way. Also, she acted in the 2020 Kunle Afolanyo movie titled Citation, which in addition to the book she had written, including Business His Way, The Girl Entrepreneur, The Girls in the Boardroom, and My Thoughts in Codes. In 2004, she earned a certification in Business Administration and Management from the IESE Business School. She's also the chairperson of the Novel Nigeria Office for Philanthropy and Impact Investment. She has consistently encouraged women to take up more leadership positions without compromising their values and integrity. In 2005, she was appointed the MD CEO of SOUQ SA of France. GTB PLC, the Chair Center Limited, and some local investors after the ban of the importation of furniture by the federal government of Nigeria in 2004. Furthermore, it is noteworthy to note that she independently established another ultra-modern furniture facility, Furniture Manufacturers Mart in Ikeja, Lagos. In 2008, she was among 5 Nigerian entrepreneurs who appeared in the first African version of the Dragon's Den. Unlike a great deal of others who knew exactly what they wanted to do from the beginning, she admitted to accidentally finding purpose. Ibukun Awoshika is a member of the Nigerian Economic Summit Group, a member of the board of Nigerian Sovereign Wealth Fund, a former chairperson of the Board of Trustees of Women in Management, Business and Public Service, and a member of the IESC's International Advisory Board. Furthermore, she sits on the board of Digital Jewelry Limited and Cabri Nigeria PLC. Additionally, she's a fellow of the African Leadership Initiative and Aspen Global Leadership Network. History was made on the 7th day of September 2015. Following the resignation of Prince Ajibola Afonja, she became the first female chair of the First Bank of Nigeria in its 126 years of existence. Ibukun Awoshika's Octo-Nigerian father, Abdul Moshood Adekola, who was a great influence in her life, passed on the 20th April 2020 after serving the Lord as an usher at the Fountain of Life Church in Ilupeju. He was a Muslim convert. He was converted few days before his 60th birthday. She got married on her 28th birthday to Abiodun Awoshika, who is the Chief Executive Officer of Excel Exploration and Production Company Limited, and they are blessed with 3 fine young men, Oludola, Olufishika, and Olamiposi. To celebrate a life of impact at 60, friends and mentees surprised Awoshika by building the Ibukun Awoshika Sports Center at our beloved secondary school, Methodist Girls High School, Yaba, Lagos. This project took about 6 months to complete and had some of our mentees like Tara Durutoye, Ndidi Okuano, Chichi Nwoko, and Bisola Runsewe. They marshaled it alongside a team of other successful people. She stands like Joshua upon the pinnacle of the Horeb, looking to command an army of a new generation of women entrepreneurs that wouldn't stop at anything to achieving their God-given dreams. For her, she believes that regardless of how illustrious her career is and how successful she could ever get in life, her family and husband remain the most important gift in her life. Ibukun Awoshika.
Achievements, goal setting, hard work, and dedication have been proven to be some of the elements towards success. The journey of remarkable individuals with lasting impact on the world are often filled with manifold stories, but through determination, they build their lives and make extraordinary contributions. Join me on the story of a trailblazer in business and philanthropy, Aiboje Ag Mokwede, a lawyer turned banker who has done well for himself, made an indelible mark within the banking sector, and has continued in his ambition of touching lives within Nigeria and across Africa. Aiboje Ag Mokwede. Within the Nigerian business space and philanthropy, few names resonate and are respected profoundly. Such is Aiboje Ag Mokwede. If you're just watching, kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel for more great documentaries. Like, share, and comment. Known as a successful business mogul, banker, investor, and a philanthropist who cares about making difference, Ag Mokwede's story is one of hard work, creativity, and a desire to drive positive change across Africa. Born to civil service parents on September 24, 1966, in Ibadan, Oyo State, Nigeria, he hails from Sabongida Ora, Edo State. Aiboje spent his formative years with his parents in Lagos, where he had his primary education at St. Saviour's School. He enrolled into Federal Government College, Kaduna, and at age 16, he was admitted to study law at the University of Benin, where he graduated at a young age of 19 with a law degree, displaying early signs of his exceptional intellect and drive. Called to the Nigerian bar in 1987, he started his career in 1988 as a lawyer at Continental Merchant Bank during his National Youth Service Corps NYSC year. In 1991, he joined Guarantee Trust Bank PLC, GT Bank, where he rose to prominence as an executive director. His big moment came in 2002 when he led the acquisition of Access Bank, turning it from a small regional bank into a big player, a banking powerhouse in the industry. Throughout his career, Ag Mokwede has taken on different leadership roles, including Group Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Access Bank until December 2013. He later became President of the Nigerian Stock Exchange and retired in 2017, but remains on the National Council. Bowing out of Access Bank, he was given a befitting send-off.
No man or combination of men could transform what we met in Access Bank in 2002 into what would cause this type of people to come and celebrate today's office.
His foresight and managerial acumen have brought him chairmanship and directorial roles in prominent organizations such as African Finance Corporation, Associated Discount House Limited, Petrolon Energy, among others, thereby contributing greatly to their growth and sustainability. Hard work, they say, pays. Aiboje Ag Mokwede's hard work earned him many awards and honors, He received the National Productivity Order of Merit Award in 2009, conferred with Commander of the Order of the Niger CON in 2011 by the then President of Federal Republic of Nigeria, Goodluck Jonathan, during his administration for contributing to banking and finance. As a visionary leader, he was installed into the E&Y World Entrepreneurs Hall of Fame in 2011 as the EY West Africa Entrepreneur of the Year and named African Banker of the Year in 2013. These amounting to how much others values his leadership and ideas. He got honored by Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers of Nigeria. Beside his work, Aige Mokwede also gives back to society. This philanthropist is involved in efforts to improve governance and healthcare across Africa through his Aige Mokwede Foundation, making a positive impact on people's life. He initiated the Adopt a Healthcare Facility program in 2019, and he is the chairman of ABC Health and director of the Private Sector Health Alliance of Nigeria. He is the founder of chairman of Coronation Capital Limited since 2015 and has contributed to the growth of the Coronation ecosystem. Coronation Capital Limited, with other arms of its businesses, also bettered Coronation Art Gallery in Lagos on the 13th of May 2022, a platform for showcasing exceptional works of art that embodied the essence of cultural significance and artistic expression. Aigboje Aige Mokwede founded Coronation Art Gallery with the vision of democratizing art, foster appreciation and understanding for the artistic world, and making it accessible to a wider audience.
Bumi Augusto is, I knew Bumi when she was born. I know her parents, and I know all her siblings. She's a beautiful, wonderful, gifted Nigerian artist, and just like many of the others here. The piece behind me is a triptych, long throats, all up to longer throats. I actually thought that I was going to caption this collection. This is really a microcosm of my entire collection, but I was going to capture it longer throats because this represents a lot of this collecting I did during COVID. Many of these pieces actually were not in Nigeria. I brought them home. I'll tell you something. I'm known for collecting masters, the Enwonwus and the Yusuf Grillos and so on. I still do, okay? And I kind of stuck to that genre of classic. Those are the people who, when I was growing up, as I told you, those are the people who were my parents, either just older than them or contemporaries. So I grew up knowing these artists as my uncles, okay? So my first collecting was, from works, done by masters like that. After a while, these works are really priced in. But Bumi Augusto, her works, which may appear even a bit pricey now, in 10 years' time, So this is also hosted by Coronation, which are companies that are all about wealth creation. So there's also the investment angle. I don't collect for investments, but with all that these great Nigerian and African artists, the young ones, have been doing, and the way their prices have been rising, I've got to focus on investments now.
Collaborated with the Nigerian Civil Service to digitalize work processes and public service delivery in October 2021. Recognizing 43 public servants at the 2022 Civil Service Award ceremony on behalf of the Aige Mokwede Foundation with an encouragement of cash prize worth 500,000 naira for each awardees.
It is my understanding that annually 43 public servants will be recognized in this fashion. And so with effect from the 2022 Civil Service Awards ceremony, on behalf of the Aige Mokwede Foundation, we will be putting an endowment with effect from this award session, whereby each awardee receives a cash prize of 500,000 naira. And in the interest of digital culture, the credits will go directly to your accounts.
Among his many certifications, affiliations, and fellowships, Aige Mokwede holds Triumph MBA from the London School of Economics, New York University, and HEC Paris. He attended an executive management program at Harvard Business School in the year 2000, and he is a member of the American Academy of Arts and Sciences, also appointed to the International Advisory Board of Oxford University's Blavatnik School of Government. Aige Mokwede is a honorary fellow of the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria and had received an honorary doctorate of science from Olabisi Onabanjo University in 2018. Also honored by Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers of Nigeria last year in a groundbreaking ceremony.
If the operators of our markets, of a nation's capital markets, are properly resourced in terms of skill, capacity, and conduct, nothing can stop that nation and its citizens from leaving the tarmac and moving from third world to first world. Nothing can stop it. The correlation between the advancement of financial markets and the advancement of national economies is perfect. It's not almost, it is perfect. And so, you understand why I have tied myself to the future of this market and why I have tried from the very word go that my voice was heard to get the public sector and the elite within the private sector to understand that we cannot ignore this market.
Aigboje is the first African co-chairman of the Global Business Coalition on Health and chairman of the Friends of the Global Fund, Africa. The business mogul has made significant donations to the Global Fund. He is the vice chairman of the Global Citizen Nigeria and creator of the Nigerian Solidarity Support Fund. There is always a story, or say many stories, behind every success, and this Aige Mokwede has shared in a book called Leaving the Tarmac, Buying a Bank in Africa, Red Door 2020. In it, he talked about how he and others turned Access Bank into a major success, showing his determination and vision.
On a personal note, I think the first thing is that I left Access Bank. I retired as CEO in 2013, and I knew that I needed time off just to recharge my battery, so to speak. I didn't think I would have more than a year and a half before my perpetual motion character, kind of took over once again. And so I wanted to use that period as productively as possible. So I had a year and a half, and what better to do in a year and a half, than write a book. And for me, it was an opportunity, for posterity to tell the story to my children in a structured sense, because before then, I just hadn't had the opportunity to sit down with my kids and say, this is what I did today, or this is what I did yesterday, and these are the highs and the lows of this journey. Herbert and I went through a hell of an experience between 2002 and 2013. And for him, that experience has continued. We learned so much. We were exposed to so many things. We had really, really great mountains that we climbed. We scaled some pretty high heights and so on. And in a sense, it would be very selfish of us to, lock this up in a box and not share it with others, because I think our experience, can be used by any other person who has an ambition to go out there and do, whatever it is they seek, whatever it is they dream about. And so the notion of writing for posterity and recording this period in my life, and probably more important, the notion of preparing a way for others, those are the things that drove me to write the book.
Aige Mokwede, former managing director of Access Bank Group, returns to lead Access Holdings, replacing Abubakar Jimo. His return after a decade aims to realize the shared vision of the late co-founder, Herbert Wigwe. Access Holdings PLC, trading under the Access Corp ticker on the Nigerian exchange, began to feel Agboje's progressive impact as its stock value increased by 1.52% following his appointments as chairman. Agboje Ige Imokwede is back again. Ige Imokwede is married to Ofovwe Ige Imokwede and has 4 children, namely Ohiozoje, Aima, Morenike, and Renown. He has been able to balance his family life with his professional achievements, setting an example as a leader and role model to many. He is an ordained minister of the Promised Land Ministry. In the annals of Nigerian business history, his story stands out, showcasing the power of vision, perseverance, and giving back to the community. From his humble beginnings to global recognition, he inspires others to dream big and make a difference. His legacy remains as he continues to make strides in business and philanthropy.
We've got just what you need right here at Femi Wash Media. Call it the Midas Touch and you wouldn't be wrong. Let us record, produce, mix and master your audio like nobody does. Reach us on our contact today for the best quality job.
Muhammad matriculation examination into Chittagong Collegiate School, where he ranked 16th out of 39,000 students. After his graduation in 1961, Yunus joined the Bureau of Economics as a research assistant and was later appointed lecturer of economics at the Chittagong College. During that time, he also set up a profitable packaging factory on the side. In 1965, he received a Fulbright scholarship to study in the United States, where he obtained his PhD in economics from the Vanderbilt University Graduate Program in Economic Development. Between 1969 and 1972, after his keen education excellence of apex heights and proportions in the United States, he returned home and was appointed professor of economics at the University of Chittagong. He was eventually appointed onto the board of directors to the United Nations Foundation, where he served for 33 years. When Bangladesh suffered a famine in 1974, Yunus felt he had to do something for the very poor. In his country, he founded the Grameen Bank. His motivation was to create economic and social development for the very poor, giving long-term loans to those who wanted to start small enterprises to pay back when they can. The aim to help was to get many of them out of poverty. For this, he was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 2006. Muhammad Yunus is a recipient of numerous international awards for his ideas and endeavors, including the Humanitarian Award in 1993, World Food Prize in 1994, Independence Day Award in 1987, Bangladesh's highest award, the King Hussein Humanitarian Leadership Award in 2000. He was also awarded the Volvo Environment Prize in 2003, Nikkei Asia Prize for Regional Growth in 2004, Franklin D. Roosevelt Freedom Award in 2006, as well as the Seoul Peace Prize in the same year. All humans are born entrepreneurs, he would always fondly say. His heart showed through his everyday life.
When you visit Lagos for the first time and Google fun or recreational places in the city, at the top of that list will be Freedom Park. Located in Lagos Island on Broad Street, Freedom Park over the years has become home to the Nigerian arts and the culture at large. From annual big shows like the Lagos Theatre Festival, celebration at the Lagos Poetry Festival, to local festivals that celebrate literature, music, and arts. Freedom Park is one of the most visited recreational sites in Lagos, for both local and tourist people alike. A place to mingle, unwind, or simply just have fun. Freedom Park, however, hasn't always been a place of fun and games. It has a history that dates to 1861, when Lagos was made a British colony. In 1885, Freedom Park was built as a fortified prison from imported bricks. It was referred to as Her Majesty's Broad Street Prison. Some prominent political prisoners were held in the prison, people such as Herbert Macaulay, Michael Imodu, and Obafemi Awolowo. In 1979, Her Majesty's Broad Street Prison was destroyed, reduced to a dumping ground. It was later rebuilt in the 1990s, celebrated in 2010, Nigeria's 50th Independence Day. Freedom Park still holds a bit of its history within its walls. In the museum, where there are pictures and artifacts. Some of the old prison facilities have been converted into leisure facilities that people visit and enjoy today.
Hello and welcome to the maiden edition of Queen's Court, where we discuss the role of women in leadership and nation building. I'm Juliet Binite, Reverend Juliet. In recent times, more women have stepped into leadership roles, demonstrating empowering role of education, technology, and access to information. These women leaders have not only achieved remarkable success in their fields, but also played pivotal role in promoting gender equality and education reforms. Today, we will be looking at the role of women in leadership and the unseen barriers. But before we set the ball rolling, let's go on a quick break and we'll be right back to introduce our guests. Welcome back. Women leaders already battling workplace stereotypes and seeking work-life balance found themselves shouldering more enormous responsibility in recent time. Hence, we will be looking at the role of women in leadership and the rising challenges. Joining me for this discussion is my sis, a big sis, but in this court, we will call you Lady. Lady Horochi Ogan, leadership consultant, and the CEO of O'Neill, a global management firm focused on leadership, at my immediate right. Welcome, Lady Horochi.
Thank you
to the
very
Queen's
much.
Court.
Thank you.
Maiden version. Thank you. A pleasure having you here. I'm glad. And of course, another big sis of mine, a wonderful, incredible woman leader, Lady Adiola Aziz. In this court, she's a Queen's Court. So get ready for that. A politician and a social entrepreneur, and of course, the founder of an NGO, Community Care Foundation, focused on empowering youth and women, and especially in agriculture, solving the hunger problem. And I just want to welcome you, sis. Lady Adiola, you're welcome to Queen's Court.
Thank you very much for having me.
We will be discussing these matters of women in leadership and the challenges. Yeah. And today's discussion is going to be focused more on the ideological issues of these leadership issues. Because women and leadership is almost as if it's not something to go together. When you say women, it doesn't count leadership. So we want to have that discussion, understanding that women have been leading in the past. We have seen great women leaders. We have seen Queen Amina Ozaria. We have seen Funmilayo Ransom Kuti in the West. And we have seen Margaret Ekpo in the East. So even in Nigeria, we have women who have led and showed tremendous leadership. But they're also very minimal leaders all over, abysmal women in leadership in different spheres of influence. The banking sector is beginning to show up with great women as CEO at the top of the echelon of the bank. But however, do we have enough women who are going to occupy that seat the moment they leave? So this discussion is very important, especially to a new generation of women rising, with the issues of women leading both at home and at the city gate. That balance of things, we need to have that discussion. That's why it's important to have the discussion. I'm coming to you, Lady Adiola, and of course it's going to be the same, dovetail to that same area of discussion on these rural women. Because of the issues of mindset, culture, educational background, and the 9 yards of the philosophy of understanding that women are also leaders. How do we navigate, apart from education, training, let's say training, what is the intricate issues that you think is still limiting these women, even at the rural level? Let me give you an example. I was at a program where I needed to speak to some women. When they called me, I thought they were educated women, but I found out they were not, so I had to go into pidgin English a little bit. But I realized that these women have such capacity and role to play in the society. And they were complaining at the issues of the genital mutilation, the issue of the girl-child marriage. It was within the middle belt of Nigeria. And I was telling them, but you are a leader, you are women leaders. And they were like, no, what are you talking about? That is the chief, is that this. So how are we going to go about, especially the rural Africa, because we have over 20 million women entrepreneurs, SMEs, and it's fundamentally women. Producing, adding to the GDP per capita of Nigeria. Incredible when I saw that data. And yet we say we are not leading. Can you speak to that? And Lady Horichi also would add to that comment, because it's at the center of this discourse in its ideological and philosophical level. Because before we talk about specializing in areas of leadership, do we really want the men to still tell us to lead? Or can we just simply realize it?
You see, when you're talking about what you just said at the rural level, right, we need to understand that, like you said, most of them are illiterate, and most of them are controlled and led by their chiefs, the ballers, their husbands, and all of that. I'll give you an example. During the local government election, we had to have a by-election in one of my wards. And there was a particular woman who was very active, widow, 6 children, she was under 23, and I said to her that, why don't you come and represent the ward, because we needed you to be there, and somebody passed. And she said, yes. So I said, okay, we will support her, we will fund her, and all of that. Do you know that by the next day or 2 days later, when we reached her, we couldn't get her on the phone? And I actually paid somebody to go and look for her. Did something happen? What had happened was that her uncle, her late husband's brother, the ballers, and said, how dare she put herself forward? Or she said she didn't put herself forward, that it was Honorable Adiola Aziz who asked her, because she saw the potential. She mobilized a lot for us. And she went into hiding.
Can you imagine?
Can you imagine that? So I now realize that what we need to do, we have to start the education from these male at that level who control these women.
Excellent.
During campaign, they're for you. They will do this, they'll support you, they say this is who we want. On the day of election, right? Their husbands, the ballers, they would have given all of them. All of you, this is the direction you go. So when you have that kind of, I don't know what to call it, whether it's a directive, I don't want to use the word bullying or whatever, a directive from their husband,
that's what it is.
Whatever, to do this. So tell me, how do those women want to express themselves? By voting or deciding or taking choices or making decisions that they feel is right for them. It's not inclusive.
So we need strong advocacy.
We need strong advocacy, and we need to try and see how we can get the buy-in of these men who have a strong hold on their wives, their sisters, on these women, to say, look, this is your daughter. This is what will happen. And a woman at that level only cares for food on the table for the children and how the children will go to school. Once you can satisfy those two needs, right, a woman she'll thrive on her own. But when she doesn't have that independence of mind to make a decision by herself, hey, she's in bondage. She's in bondage, and that is at that local level. I saw it live and direct. So they do not have the capacity. They've got the competency. They do not have that capacity to take those decisions by themselves. You know, so it's limiting and it's patriarchy, it's stereotyping, and hey, why should you raise your head up to say you want to lead? Who's giving you permission?
Excellent. But in comparatively to that, let me even draw it back to even at the international level, we only have about 23% to 25% of women at the global level. So if the rural woman, the issue of that control, is it the same as the woman at the elite level who has gone to school, at least did her high school, or suddenly she disappeared? I have had friends who were probably acting before, they get married and they just disappear off the screen. What is it? Is it just the limiting factor from the men, or the psychology of the women themselves, knowing that now that I'm married, maybe I'm not called to lead?
Very interesting question. Very interesting question, because even before you asked it, I wanted to use a corporate example equivalent to the rural one that she
Excellent.
I attended an HR meet and greet meeting. It was a people-centered thing, and the head of HR of a multinational bank came to talk to us about barriers and women in the corporate world. She gave a practical example. She said, if there's a general management or CEO opportunity in Côte d'Ivoire, and you call a man and said, go and prepare, we're getting you ready, you're going to be the CEO in Côte d'Ivoire, the man will jump, thank, and if you call a woman, the woman will tell you, this is an exciting opportunity, let me go home and discuss it with my husband. This is what is going on in the corporate world. I'm not talking about rural environment. So these barriers are real.
Yeah.
But in the same circumstances, we now had another CEO from a bank that told us about intentionality and planning. She said she went into banking career and she was intentional from word go that she was going to be at the top and nobody was going to limit her. It's not about feminism or women, whatever. She just had a relationship with her husband that helped her husband understand her and help her husband push her career. So she had a baby at the point they made her a chief executive officer for a bank in Ivory Coast or somewhere. She just, then there was not even GSM. She just planned, had 2 stable nannies, had a way of reaching out to them, you know, on a mini basis when she's doing her work. And she was able to do the assignment. She was able to take the position and enhance her career in the bank. And the time she was talking now, she was now CEO in Nigeria. So these barriers are real. And because I'm an SME person, when you mentioned SME, my body was shaking.
I can imagine, yes.
You see, so it's not an easy assignment, but if we're intentional, you need to reach out to them. It's a two-pronged approach. The first thing is that you need to sensitize the women. You need to get their buy-in. You know, you need to let them understand the benefits for them. It's not for me. You know, but you need to talk to them at their level. Speak vernacular. You can't speak that vernacular. Get somebody to interpret. Some of them do not. If they understand pidgin English, I'm very good at that. When I get to my village, I start racking in Igbo language. What is important to me is communication.
Yeah.
So you reach out to them at their level and try and sensitize them, create awareness. Let them. There's a paradigm shift that needs to happen. Let them begin. You break down the growth mindset in a simple way that will help them understand. That's the first step. Second step is to work with this huge, I don't know what to call them, husbands, chiefs, cousins, uncles, the male factor, you know, that is sitting over the female folk patriarchally, is to get them to understand. It's also a buy-in process, you know. Have conversations with them, help them to understand. When you get into a rural environment, you get to the valley. The valleys, I've seen people that were able to work and change an environment with the Oba. The Obas, recently, they're very literate. The valleys, even if they're not, they have understanding. If you get their buy-in, you just go out of your way, try and get their buy-in. Once you get their buy-in, it's easier to get the buy-in of all the other male figures in that environment. It is possible. I had listened to a senator that wanted to change something fundamentally from a history of influence, and it was genital mutilation. And she started, it was a Herculean task, but she was deliberate, she was planned. She started with the Oba of her village. Yes. She started with the Oba, continued having meetings until the Oba got the buy-in.
Excellent.
So when the Oba got the buy-in, she went to the youth. The youth got the buy-in and said any woman that is mutilated will not marry. Do you understand? So I'm giving this practical example to say that it's possible.
Societies have changed.
Yes, it's possible. If you go systematically, you will have a buy-in and there'll be a mindset change, there'll be a paradigm shift, and then you begin to make progress. By the time you're handling simultaneously the women, you know, and the male figures that are barriers, these barriers are real.
No,
that's
real.
why we need to
They're real.
be very deliberate about it.
I want to add to that contribution, especially for the current generation of women that we have. One of the things that I have also found out is that if you know you have the desire to lead, for goodness sake, when you are dating your spouse or your husband to be, please discuss it. Because some men will not entertain it. So you will not get in and say, when I marry, I will change his mind.
No, it's too late.
Because if it doesn't happen at that stage, you don't express your desire to him, and he doesn't support it at the beginning, it's not going to work.
That's the story. I can get up today, I'm going tomorrow.
Right. So getting the buy-in at an early stage, once you know leadership is in your mind, is extremely important. So that you know where you're going to. Because if they don't support you,
no, it's a problem. It's going to be a challenge.
Now,
especially if you're getting married.
Yes. And the same time,
or you're single.
You're a politician again. If you go out there and you don't see your husband beside you once or twice, it's like, what is she? Is she here? You know the negativity that goes with it. I remember when I was contesting, I had to tell my husband at the early stages of my campaign, please be beside me. And they all definitely they enjoyed it.
Excellent.
You know, so it's important that they get the buy-in of their husband before the violence and the others and all of that.
Can I add something? Before you add, just for us to begin to conclude something, because this is a proof of what you have said. Because the data shows that there was a organization that financial outperformed industry competitors have more women in leadership. That the more women are in leadership, the organization's competitiveness increases and improves. And I always tell men also, if your wife is a leader, is an improvement to your social capital, is an improvement to your financial capital. As we wind down this discussion that is a continuum, it continues, because it's a very broad discussion. And we now see the reason why the discussion should happen, because the women quotient in the leadership role beside whether it's the husband or other men, is quite low. We still have them in all spheres of influence. We're having that challenge. So you can make your conclusive point of what will it take for us to increase the quotient as we wrap this up. Starting from her as she concludes her points, then also dovetail to that question.
My last words as we conclude.
Yes.
I was going to say that when it comes to marriage, I'm not deviating. I think that conversation should happen whether you want to be a leader or not.
Yes.
You need to let, as a human, because you need to let your husband, get your husband consent from the beginning to support you to be the best versions of your life.
That's it.
You need to.
That's your HR speaking.
Yes. You need to get your husband to support you to be, you are his helpmeet. You're there to help him to be the best versions of his life, but it's a partnership. He should also make a commitment to help you to be the best versions of your life.
Precisely.
And so if you have that balance at the beginning, it's easier to manage things. It's easier to manage things, you know, when you're in the marriage. And these are my last words. I keep coming back to, you know, people plan and organize. You know, we need to be very strategic.
Yes.
We need to deal with the critical mass. We need to prepare for it. We need to have a dialogue from this not just your output. Excellent. Science and environment. We don't come together as a team. That's what we're doing. This is not a talk show.
Definitely.
I'm a solution bearer. Here to solve problems. That's why I came on the program.
Yes.
So outside this program, as we progress, can we come together and put up a strategic plan on what we can execute? And I'm not talking about high level. I'm talking about
yes.
Let's go back, because my family has a foundation. I understand how to run grassroots issues. Let's go back to the grassroots. Let's start doing something.
Okay, thank you very much. Lady Adeolaman, as we conclude.
Yes. There's been a lot of talk about the value.
Yes.
About the value that women bring to the table.
Yes.
If they are there.
Okay.
If they show up, if they're there. Promoting women leadership is simply social justice.
Excellent.
It is inclusivity.
Excellent.
It is diverse critical thinking. It brings prosperity to the table.
Yes.
To the nation, to the community, to the society. So why do you want to leave 50% of the gender that makes up the workforce, that makes up the SMEs, that makes up who we are in Nigeria? Why do you want to cut them out of the equation?
Excellent.
It's like having an aeroplane flying with one wing.
It will never fly.
So it will never fly. So the earlier we start to realize that women leadership is a must, it's a task that we must face, embrace, be intentional, and ensure that anything that comes in our way, for those of us who are there, we advocate, lead. And what's the other word again? When you lobby,
Yes.
The
yes.
men.
Yes.
That please, this is for your wives, your daughters, your sisters. Social justice is key.
Thank you very much.
Equity and equality is paramount.
Thank you very much. We must all remember that leadership is not masculine, it's human. And women's rights are indeed human rights. And every woman is called to lead, right from the home gate to the city gate. And once again, I want to appreciate Lady Horochi Ogan and Lady Adiola Aziz to Queen's Court, the maiden version.
Thank you.
2024. Thank you for being with us. And thank you for listening. God bless you, and bye for now.
My name is Shino Ogbadegeshi. I'm the CEO of Gozi Micro Insurance. Continue to watch SOUQ News.
Adenike Adeyemi, Executive Director of Faith Foundation. Keep watching SOUQ News.
My name is Shepherd Michael Adewale Onofuye. I enjoin you all to always watch SOUQ News TV.
Hey everyone, Majuli Obaje here representing Gigi. Keep watching SOUQ News, okay? Stay updated with SOUQ News.
My name is Aton Keme. I am the head of MSME banking. Please keep watching SOUQ News and stay glued to SOUQ News.
I recommend that more and more people should watch SOUQ News because they deal with business news.
Hi, my name is Amaka Wokolo. I am the director of the Faith Institute at Faith Foundation. Keep watching SOUQ News.
We've got just what you need right here at Femi Wash Media. Call it the Midas Touch, and you wouldn't be wrong. Let us record, produce, mix, and master your audio like nobody does. Reach us on our contact today for the best quality job.
To you the remarkable life of a Nigerian businesswoman who has overcome significant challenges to become one of the most successful entrepreneurs in Africa. Let me tell you about the strength, resilience, and passion for success of a woman who journeyed into the male-dominated world of oil exploration and production. A woman who displayed her love for philanthropic endeavors and her commitment to empowering others, particularly women and young people. This woman is Folorunsho Alakija. It takes only the brave, courageous, and smart-minded people to become rich and influential personalities in the world. In Africa, when we mention the names of rich and powerful women, you must mention the name Folorunsho Alakija, the richest woman in Africa. Her net worth, according to Forbes, is $1 billion. Now, how did she start? Let's take you down memory lane on the life of Folorunsho Alakija. Folorunsho Alakija was Ni Ogbara was born on Sunday, 15th July 1951 to Chief L.A. Ogbara, her father, and Mrs. Ogbara, her mother, who is a businesswoman. She was born into a polygamous family of 8 wives and 52 children. Her mother was the first wife, and she was the 8th child of her mother. Young Folorunsho grew up at her family house located at Ido Oluwo Street, Ikorodu, Lagos. She had her nursery education at Our Lady of Apostles Nursery School from 1955 to 1958, also in Lagos. At the age of 7, her parents enrolled her at a primary school in Wales called Dino Ben School for Girls in Wales. She was in that boarding school for 4 years before she returned to Nigeria. After her primary education, she attended Muslim High School, Shagamu, Ogun State in 1963. Well, during the holidays, she would go to her mother's shop to participate in the textile business. She would learn about trading and marketing of textiles. Generally, she learned a lot of tricks about business. After graduation from high school, she enrolled at Pitman Central College, London, to study secretarial studies. In 1974, Folorunsho started her career working as an executive secretary at Sijuade Enterprises. After gaining some experience there, she moved on to First National Bank of Chicago, now First City Monument Bank, working as the executive secretary to the managing director. Later, she was appointed the new head of the Corporate Affairs Department of the International Merchants Bank of Nigeria, formerly First National Bank of Chicago. She moved on in her career to become office assistant to the Treasury Department. After spending 12 years in the banking sector, Folorunsho traveled to London in 1984 to study fashion designing. She studied intensive courses in millinery and fashion design at the American College in London and the Central School of Fashion. When she returned to Nigeria, she established her fashion label called Supreme Stitches. Within 3 weeks of setting up her business, she was invited to take part in a fashion competition. Folorunsho won the competition that brought her straight into the limelight of the fashion industry in Nigeria. Prominent women from different parts of the country started making clothes with her. Her fashion company thrived successfully, and a few years later, she renamed it to the Rose of Sharon House of Fashion, making it a proper fashion line. As her success in fashion grew, she was later made national president of the Fashion Designers Association of Nigeria, FADON, and a lifelong trustee of the association. By the early 1990s, Folorunsho decided it was time to expand her business tentacles to oil and gas. Her company, FAMFA Limited, was incorporated in September 1991. The company applied for an oil prospecting license, OPL, to explore a 617,000 acre block for oil, now OPL 216. In August 1993, the company was awarded the leasehold rights of OPL 216 oil block, and it was renamed officially. FAMFA Oil was changed to FAMFA Oil Limited. Its goal was to be the forefront of indigenous oil and gas exploration and production in Nigeria. Folorunsho got on board the exploration of a major deep water oil field located 1,500 meters off the Niger Delta, the Agbami field. She gained access by partnering with Star Deep Water Petroleum, a subsidiary of Texaco, through a joint venture agreement. FAMFA Oil Limited then appointed Star Deep Waters Petroleum as its official technical advisor for the OPL 216 exploration license. The company received 40% of FAMFA's 100% stake, while the remaining 60% was retained by FAMFA and the Alakija family. It was discovered in 1998 by Shell. Star Deep Waters Limited, an affiliate to Chevron, functions as the operator of the field. Through her company, FAMFA, Folorunsho and other companies are oil benefactors of the Agbami field. The Agbami field was first discovered in 1998 but only became active in 2008. Its operations will last throughout 2024. After a majority of its vast reserves would have been extracted, she had to fight back against the government in court for laying claims to a 50% stake in her company. It was initially a 40% stake, but the government later returned for an additional 10%, claiming that the company generated a revenue of $10 million from the oil block. Folorunsho felt it was unfair because her company had worked hard, invested everything in the business. When the fruits of their labor started to manifest, that's when the government took everything away. The Alakija family fought the government in court until they won on May 22, 2012. The first drilling of the Agbami well was done on 15 July 1998. The exploratory well was about 4,700 feet underwater, which was the deepest depth in Nigeria at that time. From the license application to the point of the company's first strike, there was an interval of 17 years. Today, Famfa Oil Limited is a leading oil and gas exploration company. Folorunsho Alakija has other businesses in property, real estate, and in printing. She owns Dayspring Property Development, a real estate company with investments in different parts of the world. She also owns Digital Reality Print Limited, a printing company and corporate services provider. And in the area of philanthropy, Folorunsho's success story would not be complete without mentioning how she wants to give back to society. She wants to help those in need. Hence, she started the Rose of Sharon Foundation, which was created in 2008. It is a registered faith-based NGO that has empowered widows and their families and orphans to be successful through education programs and scholarships up to the university level within the country, Nigeria. Through Famfa Oil Limited, Folorunsho also hands out yearly scholarships to 9,000 medical and engineering students across the nation. The foundation has also donated a total of 21 chest clinics for the treatment of tuberculosis in 21 states across Nigeria, including the Niger Delta region and Lagos State. They have successfully donated 4 e-libraries and 2 school libraries to schools within the nation. In addition, she has a foundation created to empower women called Flourish Foundation. It encourages women in their different careers and provides grants for female entrepreneurs who want to start a business. Folorunsho is also a writer and has written a few books. For instance, one of the books titled The Cry of Widows and Orphans and The University of Marriage, and also the Folorunsho Alakija Speaks, to mention a few. Now, Folorunsho's personal life would not be complete in this article without mentioning her husband, Mr. Modupe Alakija. Folorunsho and Modupe got married in November 1976. Their marriage is blessed with 4 sons and their grandchildren, and they reside in Lagos, Nigeria. Folorunsho holds so many awards and recognitions for her contribution to society. She holds 6 honorary degrees and a fellowship at the Yaba College of Technology. In July 2013, she was appointed as the Vice Chairman of Nigerian National Heritage Council and Endowment for Arts. She became the first female chancellor in Osun State University and Nigeria's first female chancellor on the 9th of March 2016. She is also one of the Lagos Business School's alumnus and a member of the Commonwealth and Investment Council Advisory Board. She is also an advisory board member for Center of African Studies, Harvard. On July 17, 2021, Benson Idahosa University, Benin City, bestowed on her an honorary doctorate degree in business administration. In conclusion, Folorunsho Alakija's story is a tale of hard work, determination, persistence, and courage. She was able to build up her marriage, raise an upstanding family, and build her empire. She also faced challenges in her life, but she conquered these challenges. She is living proof that success is not limited by gender, age, nationality, or financial backgrounds, but rather success is the product of courage to take risks and stand up strong in the face of adversity.
Africa is on the rise, and at the forefront of its growth is a sector as old as civilization itself: agriculture. Once marked by subsistence farming and challenges with food security, agriculture in Africa is now experiencing a powerful transformation. From the fertile lands of Nigeria to the tea fields of Kenya, agriculture is driving economic growth and lifting millions out of poverty. African governments and internal investors are taking notice, pouring in resources to support smallholder farmers and expand sustainable farming practices. Digital innovation is playing a major role in this transformation. Mobile apps provide farmers with crucial information on weather, market prices, and crop management. These digital tools are empowering farmers to make informed decisions, increase their yield, and get fair prices for their produce. Now I know when it rains, I can plan my planting better, and I know where to sell my crops for a good price. It's really changing our lives. We are committed to investing in agriculture as a pillar of our economy. Our goal is to make farming not only viable, but a source of wealth and stability for our people. African countries are also scaling up for exports, especially in high-demand crops like coffee, cocoa, and cashew. By focusing on quality, Africa is capturing a larger share of global markets. But the transformation goes beyond exports. Across Africa, new farming techniques and policies are helping to meet domestic demand and reduce reliance on food imports, contributing to food security across the continent. Women are also a key part of Africa's agricultural revolution. They make up a significant portion of the agricultural workforce, and initiatives are empowering women farmers with resources and training to enhance productivity. From subsistence to sustainability, the future of agriculture in Africa is bright. With innovation, investment, and resilient communities, Africa is sowing the seeds of prosperity.
Dr. SOUQ A. Adedeji, whose leadership has significantly transformed Nigeria's tax administration, is a distinguished first-class graduate in accounting from the prestigious Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, and he currently serves as the chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS.
I firmly believe in the wisdom encapsulated in the statements. Revenue growth is the lifeblood of a nation's economy, providing means to fulfill essential duties to its citizens. These words capture the core principle that will guide us as we navigate the challenging terrain ahead, ensuring that our nation thrives and fulfill its obligation to its citizens. In our pursuit of greater fiscal future, we are determined to align ourselves with President Bola Tinubu's extreme fiscal policy and tax reform committee. This collaboration will enable us to shape the prosperous fiscal landscape that will empower our nation's growth and development.
Born on January 8, 1978 in Ogbomoso, Oyo State, Nigeria, Dr. Adedeji is an accomplished accountant and public officer with extensive expertise in corporate taxation and public finance. His journey in public service began in 2011 when he was appointed as Commissioner for Finance in Oyo State. In that capacity, Adedeji introduced transformative financial reforms, most notably the establishment of the Treasury Single Account (TSA) to streamline government revenues and expenditures. In March 2021, President Muhammadu Buhari appointed Adedeji as Executive Secretary of the National Sugar Development Council (NSCDC). In this capacity, he founded the Nigeria Sugar Institute and spearheaded the Sugar Backward Integration Program, which sought to enhance local sugar production and reduce reliance on foreign imports. In June 2023, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu appointed Adedeji as Special Advisor on Revenue, and by September of that same year, he had ascended to the position of Executive Chairman of FIRS, Nigeria's leading tax authority responsible for the assessment, collection, and management of federal taxes.
The focus will be on these indirect taxes, so that as long as you consume, you have to pay. As long as you have interest on your investment, you have to pay. And this is echoing Mr. President's message that we are not going to tax the seed, but we are going to tax the fruit. The fruit is what we focus on. So all those things, when we have this holistic process, it will be captured, and that the vision is to have a progressive tax, that if you earn more, you pay more, and if you earn less, you will not pay.
Under his leadership, FIRS exceeded its 2023 revenue target of 11.55 trillion naira. As chairman of FIRS, Dr. Adedeji implemented a performance-based system aligning with the service's new slogan, simplifying tax, maximizing revenue.
Dr. SOUQ Adedeji has done incredibly well in transforming and reforming the tax processes and procedures in Nigeria. In a little over a year being at the helm of the affairs of the tax body in Nigeria, we have seen a significant improvement in revenue generation. His policy of not crumbling business with taxation is something that also needs to be applauded. SOUQ Adedeji philosophy is taxing fruits and not the seed, and taxing prosperity, not poverty. Because if you look at the fiscal landscape of Nigeria in the past 10 years, you find that businesses have struggled to live, and that has led to the exit of so many businesses from Nigeria. But with this new reform, we're saying that the businesses will profit from the reform processes, and that will mean more business for Nigeria. We will have a lot of foreign inflow in terms of foreign direct investment that will actually drive the process of economic growth for the country. And I think he has done so well, and he deserves a kudos, especially for taking the giant stride to restructure FIRS for efficiency, for accountability, and for value for money.
He has also made the welfare of the staff a top priority, fostering a positive working environment that has brought smiles to the faces of FIRS employees nationwide. Supporters of the tax reform bills highlight several key benefits, harping on the need for streamlined tax processes that could reduce bureaucratic hurdles and foster an environment where businesses can thrive.
He has initiated a lot of reform which dovetail into the tax reform bills that is before the National Assembly. This initiative is to improve on the tax administration system in Nigeria with a view to improving on the collection systems that will be beneficial to every member of the Nigerian state. SOUQ, as is well known, has improved on simplifying tax reform even within the federal land revenue, which in no means has improved on tax administration, and he celebrated essentially for the core initiative of the tax reform.
Under Dr. Adedeji's leadership, Nigeria's tax system has gone beyond mere policy adjustments. Its focus is on fostering sustainable growth and ensuring that the benefits of tax reforms reach both businesses and citizens.
So those that are attacking the bill, one, they are doing that in view of the formula they discovered, which may not be, will not augur well for them on the bad allocation. And then secondly, they may be having the feeling that this law was just designed to favor Lagos State in the course of its own effort to become a state that has special status. Okay? It says so that will make it to be seen as if it is a country of its own, even though it's not up to the level of country, but it is higher than all other states in the country. Probably this may be the reason why they are agitating. The one that you can see clearly is on this issue of VAT. And then they have other suspicion. So that is another worry that I have. The issue of trust. Trust, what do some experts call trust deficit. Yes, will be promoted greatly by this if corrective measures are not taken. Graduation has not been defined. But then people have to go by what is happening now. As they go against it. Since now the graduation is about contribution of state that are producing these goods and services being consumed. So they have the right to just say that, oh, well, so now instead of 20%, it will now be 60%. And then you hear the government functionaries, including members of the committee, saying that no, that's not what they mean. They mean area of consumption. This 60% graduation is about consumption area, not location of the headquarters of company that produce the good or services. You should have defined that in the law.
Contributing to long-term national development, Dr. SOUQ A. Adedeji's career is a testament of his unwavering commitment to improving Nigeria's financial systems and enhancing revenue generation, showcasing his exceptional expertise in corporate and public finance.
Hello, Lagos. Make we yarn.
Hello, boy, if this POS matter, don't pass your call. Person go swipe, alert no enter. Before you know it, jump.
Wait, wetin really happen?
Maybe you say alert the warriors.
Okay, so Mona, listen, if you dey do POS business, no expose your alert.
Hello, Ogbuefi. They don't walk that bar road where they warrior for our local government for years.
This one sweet me, I no lie you. Because you know what, development with the work, it deserve loudspeaker. Now why we dey here be that? For here, we know the abuse, we dey bring solution. My name, it is Ikechukwu Oyemike, aka Ogbuefi Ishegwari.
Make we yarn every weekday from 10 a.m. go to 12 o'clock on Top the Eye 95.9 FM.
Skincare from the inside out. Because beautiful skin isn't just about what you put on, it's about how you care for your whole body. Hello, my name is Emmanuel Olise, and this is SOUQ Health Tips. let's talk about something that is seen every day in the clinic. People investing in expensive skincare products but overlooking one major factor: internal health. The truth is, your skin reflects what's going on inside your body. As a medical personnel, I can tell you that achieving clear, radiant skin starts far beneath the surface. Number one, nutrition matters more than you think. Your skin is your largest organ, and like every organ, it needs the right nutrients to thrive. Eat foods rich in antioxidants like berries, spinach, and green tea to help fight free radical damage. Include omega-3 fatty acids from fish and walnuts to reduce inflammation and keep your skin barrier strong. Limit refined sugars and processed foods, which can trigger acne and accelerate aging through a process called glycation. 2. Hydration is skin deep. When your body is dehydrated, your skin looks dull, dry, and tired. Drink at least 2 to 3 liters of water daily and eat hydrating foods like cucumbers, oranges, and watermelon. Pro tips: if your lips are constantly dry or your inner under eyes are creased, it may be a hydration issue, not just a skincare one. 3. Prioritize quality sleep. While you sleep, your skin goes into repair mode, producing collagen, regenerating cells, and balancing oil levels. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of uninterrupted sleep. Poor sleep increases cortisol level, which can lead to breakouts, sensitivity, and early aging. 4. Watch your stress levels. High stress equals to high cortisol. Cortisol triggers oil production, inflammation, and skin flare-ups like acne, eczema, and psoriasis. Practice daily stress relief breathing exercises. Short walks, journaling, or digital detoxes can all help calm both mind and skin. 5. Support your gut health, because the gut-skin connection is real. An unhealthy gut can lead to inflammation that shows up on your skin as acne or dullness. Add probiotics. You get your probiotics from your yogurt or supplements, and prebiotics from garlic, onions, and oats to nourish your microbiome. Bonus: skincare products still matter, but they work best on a healthy foundation. Yes, your cleansers, moisturizers, and SPF are important, but they can't fix what poor diet, dehydration, or stress are damaging from the inside. In summary, if you want healthy, glowing skin, treat it like a system, not just a surface. Nourish your body, sleep well, stay hydrated, manage your stress, and then invest in a good skincare routine. Beautiful skin is a lifestyle, not just a product. I'm Emmanuel Elise, and this is SOUQ Health Tips. Remember, your skin listens to everything your body tells it. So let's speak health from the inside out.
We've got just what you need right here at Femi Wash Media. Call it the Midas Touch, and you wouldn't be wrong. Let us record, produce, mix, and master your audio like nobody does. Reach us on our contact today for the best quality job.
Hello and welcome to SOUQ Special Report, where we go beyond the headlines to decode the deeper systems shaping our world. Today, we examine a bold, unconventional idea. Is capitalism only about market, or is it also about intimacy, relationships, and power? According to Noam Uren, capitalism cannot be fully understood through markets alone. Instead, he proposes a striking lens: the sexual economy, a framework that examines how relationships like marriage, love, and even prostitution reflects deeper economic structures. But what does this mean in practical terms, especially for society like ours? Historically, marriage was more than a romantic union. It was an economic contract, often tied to property, inheritance, and social order. Women, in many societies, were treated as extension of property. Modern capitalism appears to have changed this, reframing marriage as a union based on love. Yet, Scholars like Betty Friedan and Ali Hodgson argue that hidden economic roles remain, especially in unpaid labor and emotional expectations. Even in modern societies, marriage still carries economic weight, not always in obvious ways like property, but in expectations around care, support, and responsibility. So, while love is the language, economics is still part of the structure. One of the most compelling ideas in this theory is the role of the family. In capitalism, the family is excluded from the market, but it remains central to the economy. It produces care, stability, social reproduction, yet operates outside buying and selling. This creates a paradox. The system depends on something it refuses to price. If you remove the unpaid labor within families, caregiving, and household work, many economies would collapse. So, the question is, why is something so valuable not valued in monetary terms? Money is often seen as a neutral tool for exchange, but this perspective challenges that assumption. In capitalism, money is tied to things it cannot or should not buy. From influence to love, dignity to identity, there are limits to what money should achieve. Yet, these limits are constantly tested. Look at advertising. It rarely sells just products. It sells identity, status, belonging. In many ways, businesses are trying to sell what money technically cannot buy. Few areas expose the tension between money and intimacy more clearly than prostitution. In earlier societies, it was condemned as immoral behavior. Today, the discomfort lies not just in the act, but in the exchange of money for intimacy. Legal scholar Catherine McKinnon argues that prostitution reflects power dynamics where money reshapes the interaction itself. The debate around prostitution today is less about morality and more about power, consent, and economic vulnerability. It forces us to confront uncomfortable questions about what should and should not be commodified. At the heart of this theory lies a paradox. Capitalism is driven not just by what money can buy, but by what it cannot. From luxury branding to social media influence, modern economies promise meaning, identity, and belonging. Yet these are things that cannot be fully priced. We are living in an economy of aspiration. People are not just buying products, they are buying into narratives about who they are or what they want to be.
Palm oil has long been a vital component of Nigeria's agricultural heritage, with roots tracing back to pre-colonial times. Originally serving local needs, its importance has grown exponentially, propelling Nigeria into a prominent global producer. Spread across regions like Edo, Delta, Cross River, and Ondo states, the country boasts extensive plantations and advanced processing capabilities. It takes about 4 years for oil palms to produce fruit suitable for harvest. Each tree will then continue to produce fruit for up to 30 years, at which point they will have grown to around 40 feet tall. According to reports, Nigeria's palm oil production increased to 1.4 million metric tons in 2023, witnessing steady growth since 2009, with a peak surge in 2010. Despite a surge in domestic consumption, reaching 1.8 million metric tons in the 2021-2022 crop year, Nigeria still imports 350,000 metric tons, primarily from China and Malaysia. Similarly, some of the challenges plaguing the sector include declined production, outdated equipment, and insufficient financing, resulting in a notable production deficit. To address these challenges, government intervention is imperative, necessitating increased funding, favorable policies, and enhance environmental protection measures. Furthermore, Nigeria and other African countries must move away from the local way of producing palm oil to a more mechanized method for effective and efficient production. Additionally, fostering collaborations among farmers, processors, marketers of consumers, and equipment fabricators is vital for sustainable production and value chain development. Israel Adeyemi, SOUQ News.
Augmented reality, AR, is a technology that merges computer-generated images with the user's real-world view, creating a composite experience. This interactive experience integrates various sensory modalities, such as things you can see, hear, and even feel, making the experience interactive and immersive. In recent years, the emergence of this transformative technology has seamlessly integrated digital and physical realms. This groundbreaking innovation relies on specialized hardware like smartphones and smart glasses equipped with cameras and sensors, AR software, and Apple's AR Kit and Google's AR Core. Then creates immersive experiences by overlaying virtual content onto the user's real-world environment. AR software such as Apple's AR Kit and Google's AR Core then creates immersive experiences by overlaying virtual content onto the user's real-world environment. AR's applications span diverse industries from gaming to education, healthcare, retail, and manufacturing. In education, AR enhances learning through interactive and dynamic experiences, while in healthcare, it aids surgical planning and medical training. Retail experiences are transformed as AR enables customers to virtually try on products and visualize furniture in their homes. Despite its potential, AR faces challenges such as technical advancements and user privacy concerns. Overcoming these hurdles will unlock even more seamless and immersive AR experiences, making it an integral part of our daily lives. As technology progresses, the horizon for AR broadens, promising a future where our interactions with the world are richer and more interconnected. Augmented reality is not just a trend, it's a revolution shaping the way we live, learn, and work. Goma Fortune, SOUQ News.
My name is Ogbade Geshin. I'm the CEO Gozi Micro Insurance. Continue to watch SOUQ News.
Adenike Adeyemi, Executive Director of Faith Foundation. Keep watching SOUQ News.
My name is Shepherd Michael Adewale Onofuye. I enjoin you all to always watch SOUQ News TV.
Hey everyone, Majuli Obaje here representing Gigi. Keep watching SOUQ News, okay? Stay updated with SOUQ News.
My name is Aton Keme. I am the head of MSME banking. Please keep watching SOUQ News and stay glued to SOUQ News.
I recommend that more and more people should watch SOUQ News because they deal with business news.
Hi, my name is Amaka Wokolo. I am the director of the Faith Institute at Faith Foundation. Keep watching SOUQ News.
At the core of what makes us human is our ability to pay attention, be present in our experiences, and channel our thoughts and actions towards meaningful goals. However, for individuals with ADHD, which is considered a neurodevelopmental disorder, a medical condition that affects the brain. This fundamental aspect of human nature is often disrupted, leading to difficulties in maintaining focus, controlling impulses, and regulating behaviors.
This hyperactivity disorder is a neurodevelopmental disorder that occurs in children and adolescents. It's a problem that has to do with brain development and the brain function. And the ADHD symptoms range from inattention, impulsivity, and hyperactivity. They may be very restless, fidgeting, and they're always on the move. And sometimes they may be climbing, jumping from here and there. That they may injure themselves in the process.
Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, ADHD, is one of the most common mental disorders diagnosed in children, though it can persist into adolescence and adulthood. The history dates back to 1798, when a Scottish doctor, Sir Alexander Crichton, observed that some individuals were easily distracted and unable to focus on their activities as others could. He noted that these symptoms often began early in life, which is consistent with what we now recognize as ADHD. The disorder typically manifests between the ages of 3 and 6, with symptoms such as difficulty in focusing, excessive movement inappropriate to the setting, and impulsive actions occurring without forethought. This ailment affects people of all ages, though most commonly diagnosed in children. The average age of onset is around 7 years, with symptoms significantly impacting various aspects of life. Approximately 5 to 10 of children worldwide are affected, with the highest prevalence rates observed in Africa at 8.5% and South America at 11.5%. Variations exist across different countries, with lower rates in Japan and Finland and higher rates in Jamaica and Thailand. In the United States, about 7% of children are diagnosed with this disorder, reflecting an average of prevalence globally.
Differentiate between ADHD and other neurodevelopmental disorders. It starts with comprehensive assessment. When I talk about assessment, I mean assessment by child psychiatrists, assessment by child psychologists, and other professionals in the mental health team. And of course, there are some basic symptoms that are very clear and obvious. The clinical presentation, when you see a child that is hyperactive, that is impulsive, that is inattentive, that itself can give you a clue that that child may be having ADHD symptoms. And again, you also take further history. You may need to take, if there's a family history of ADHD in the setting, because if there is a family history of ADHD, the child may come out with ADHD in the nearest future.
Individuals affected faces challenges that extend into academic performance, work or personal relationships, and social domains. Some of the signs include constant fidgeting, impulsiveness, and difficulty completing tasks, alongside emotional struggles such as mood swings, low self-esteem, and frustration.
The diagnosis is made following a comprehensive assessment, and you also do some basic psychological investigations, and of course, by combining the report from the child psychiatrist and the child psychologist, you'll be very comfortable to make a diagnosis. And of course, I must say that there are some childhood disorders that may mimic ADHD, like learning disability, like autism spectrum disorders. But the symptoms of ADHD are so very obvious that when you see a child that is hyperactive and oftentimes restless, oftentimes impulsive and unable to follow instructions, that should give you a high index of suspicion that that child may be struggling with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder.
While it's not a physical ailment like a broken bone, it is a real condition that is frequently accompanied by other conditions such as major depressive disorder, anxiety, substance abuse, learning disabilities, conduct disorder, and oppositional defense disorder, which complicates the management and treatment of the disorder. Treatment for ADHD typically involves a combination of medical therapy and behavioral interventions. Stimulants are also the most commonly used, with 70 to 80% of children experiencing symptoms relief. Cognitive behavioral therapy, anger management, and family therapy are key in managing symptoms, along with educational interventions that enhance coping strategies and organizational skills. While these treatments help manage ADHD, they do not cure it, highlighting the need for ongoing support and personalized care. Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, ADHD, is a complex condition with far-reaching effects on behavior, cognition, and emotional well-being. Continued research and effective treatments are vital in helping those affected lead fulfilling lives and contribute meaningfully to their society. Grace Komolafe, SOUQ News TV.
We've got just what you need right here at Femi Wash Media. Call it the Midas Touch, and you wouldn't be wrong. Let us record, produce, mix, and master your audio like nobody does. Reach us on our contact today for the best quality job.
Hello, Lagos. Make we yarn.
Hello, boy, if this POS matter, don't pass your call. Person go swipe, alert no enter. Before you know it, jump.
Wait, wetin really happen?
Nigga, you fake alert the warriors.
Okay, so wanna listen, eh? If you dey do POS business, no expose your alert.
Hello, Ogbuefi. They don't walk that bar road where they warrior for our local government for years.
This one sweet me, I no lie you. Because you know why? Development with the work, it deserve loudspeaker. Now why we dey here be that? For here, we know the abuse, we dey bring solution. My name, it is Ikechukwu Oyemike, aka Ogbuefi Ishegwari.
Make we yarn every weekday from 10 a.m. go to 12 o'clock on Top the Eye 95.9 FM.
They say money doesn't change who you are, it just enhances who's already there. So if you're living your life a certain way, let's say you're just blowing money, you're buying drinks, you're buying drugs, what is the money going to do? Is that going to change you or elevate you or just make you spend more money in that area? Like the reparations, that's my question. Well, what is it going to do?
Well, you believe that Europe and America should do more for Africa?
Well, in what way?
Good afternoon. You know, when I heard you in our studio, what caught me was your voice. I'm really attracted by your voice. But let's start the discussion by getting to know you. Can you run us through your career and the kind of person that you are?
Okay, my name is Lord Frank. I'm a voiceover artist and actor. I've been in the industry for a little over a decade now. And I have done everything from movies, TV series, and I've even been on radio for a little bit. Majority, I do voiceovers, and I produce adverts.
Voiceovers, what does that mean to the ordinary man?
Voiceovers are when you just have your voice, nobody sees you, but they can hear your voice on maybe ads on TV or on radio.
So you must be into advertising, marketing communications?
That's right, yes.
What's been your experience?
It's been okay so far. It's been okay so far. You know, there's been ups and downs here and there, just like anything else, but it's been okay so far.
You have this American accent. Has it got to do with your training?
Yeah, a little bit.
Tell us about your training.
Well, I stayed in the States for a little while. close to 20 some odd years. And I did a couple of courses in terms of radio and TV production.
I'm sure you know Hollywood.
Yes, yes.
Have you had any relationship with Hollywood at all?
Not really, not really.
Do you plan to?
I did at the time. I almost got the extent I almost got close to Hollywood is I almost had an agency. One of the things that you have to do as an actor in Hollywood is get a talent agency, because those are the guys that get you the job. So almost got a talent agency.
We have so many radio and television stations, particularly in Lagos. Have you listened? Have you watched any? What's your opinion?
It's not bad. We're doing all right.
Because I believe that our artists, our presenters tend to be necessarily American or African. And I thought we should have a Nigerian voice. What do you think?
No, I would agree with you. I mean, one of the things that, lets you know you're in a particular country is by what you hear on the radio and things like that, the kind of music, the kind of presenters they have. Yeah, so that's one of the telltale signs that you're in a particular country. So you're absolutely right. So when I turn on the radio, I should hear a Nigerian voice.
What is broadcasting like now globally with social media? Everybody wants to be a journalist now with social media. And it's affecting broadcasters.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
What's the way out?
That's a good question. I don't know if I have the answer for that. But unfortunately, attention is currency nowadays. And whoever gets to present first, gets the amount of views. But at the end of the day, people who are more concerned about genuine, true stories will find their platform.
You are so informed and so educated and so trained.
Oh, well, thank you.
What are you trying to bring back to the country?
Well, I've been here a while, so I think genuineness, authenticity is one thing, right? I believe strongly, and that's what I was telling someone earlier, I believe strongly that no matter what you want to show the world, the most important thing is the vehicle that you're using to present it to the world. We could be as Nigerian as we want to be, but the production value has to be as quality as anything, was what everybody's used to.
Let's talk about branding.
Okay.
Seems like everybody wants to brand.
Yes, yes.
Is it the right way to go about it? Or do you use the media? What has branding got to do with it? Or
I believe branding sells, If you believe you have something unique, something that nobody else has, brand it, brand it, because that comes with a whole lot of things. I think people look at you different when you have a brand.
Now we're talking about climate change.
Yes.
In this part of the world, we seem to be far behind. What do you think the media in this part of the world should be doing as regards climate change, sustainability, the green revolution kind of, yes?
I think it's a question of how important is it to us. If there's any truth to it, now I'm going to sound pretty bad. If there's any truth to it, then the focus should be on it, whether it could be alternative energy, how we can be more concerned about how to use those alternative energies as opposed to what our major source of power is, oil and generators and things like that. So it just depends.
We have so many festivals in Nigeria. In Lagos, we've just done Eyo. We have Ofala, we have Agogo. Do you have suggestions on how we can market and monetize it for economic development?
Like, we can build stories around these festivals, They can be the core of our filmmakings or our music, The way that people will be so fascinated about it. By itself, it's doing pretty good, People are already coming from all over the world to come and enjoy these festivals, but I think we can do more. And that comes to how we all have to work together, network, how we can bring what we believe makes us authentic to the rest of the world. We can work together.
America and Nigeria, is there a way we can cooperate in the areas of culture, tradition, music, particularly music, because our musicians are making gain everywhere now? Is there a way the American government or the American people itself can rally around and have a kind of interrelationship?
Well, I don't know, I can't speak on that particularly, but I think they're collaborating okay. I think they're doing well. Burna Boy is making music with different people, Wizkid and, Rema. All these people are making music with different people, so I think they're doing okay.
What about our fashion? How do we promote it and how do we market it and how do we inspire the ones at home? How do we go about it?
Like you were saying earlier, that social media has done so much, right? And these individuals just lock in on social media, the word will get out.
So how do we look at our festivals? How do we refine them? Using technology and using the web results so that we just don't repeat the same thing every year.
There was a gentleman that did an AI video of elderly. I don't know if you came across this thing. It was on YouTube. He put it up. He did an AI video of the elderly in different African attire, different fashions and stuff like that. So that's the way we're going. You know, we can take things that maybe like the festival or whatever it is from our traditions and just combine with AI and present it to the world.
If I talk about the diaspora, we have a very strong Nigerian diaspora abroad. Is there a way we can encourage them? And is there a way we can unite them up there so that they can contribute to the development of this place? Because what has been happening are just isolated cases.
Sure.
And they need to be formed into a group, a formidable group, to come to the aid of particularly Nigeria. What should be the role of these diaspora people?
I think it takes a group to open that up, that discussion, you know. A group or maybe an association or, you know, an organization to put together and say, you know, we're looking for our Nigerian brothers and sisters in different places to, you know, come together, and there has to be transparency, there has to be structure. I think if they see the transparency and they see the structure and they see that they're really helping individuals to build and better Nigeria, I think they'll get involved.
I write a lot, but even some of my colleagues have observed that there's a shortage of African writers. We're all riding on the fame and popularity of Wole Soyinka, Chinua Achebe. It stars, the young ones are not coming up. Is there a way we can fashion out a training program or a project?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, when you look at the entertainment world, what's selling is the Nigerian Idol, the African voices and things like that. And it's more tailored towards musicians. I think if there were more competitions or contests in regard to writers, yes, I think some people will, you know, come out and will inspire a new generation of writers, you know, and having the likes of you or Wole Soyinka being the judges and stuff like that, and really making it a big celebration. You know, people will turn out. Yeah.
You're doing voiceovers, and I know you'll be concerned about AI.
Yes.
I'm not fascinated by AI.
Okay.
Because I think it will kill creativity.
Sure.
So how will AI affect your business and my business?
It really depends on who you're talking to. Because some people may say, you know, I have the idea, I have what I know I want to do. AI just helps me go from point A to point B a little quicker, you know? And that's all it does. And some people can say, okay, let me just sit back and type, give me an idea. That's where we're now in trouble. You know, I think that's the difference there.
I'm going to ask a very sensitive question, and it's been in the news for some time now. This issue of reparation. Do you think that the black people, the Africans, will deserve reparation from Europe?
Wow, that is really sensitive. That is really sensitive.
That's why I said it's sensitive.
Right.
Because some governments are already doing it. Germany is doing it.
Yeah.
France is doing it. So it's not a big deal.
Yeah. I guess my question is, to what end? They say money doesn't change who you are, it just enhances who's already there. So if you're living your life a certain way, let's say you're just blowing money, you're buying drinks, you're buying drugs, what is the money going to do? Is that going to change you or elevate you or just make you spend more money in that area? Why the reparations? That's my question. Well, what is it going to do? What's going to do? Because there's so many individuals that are excelling, even way before we were going to talk about this day and age. Back then, a long time ago, there was a place called Black Wall Street in New York. I think it's in New York. That it was ran by all black Americans, and it was doing quite well, until, you know, they got messed up. But the point I'm trying to make is, what is the goal of the reparations? What is really the goal?
Well, you believe that Europe and America should do more for Africa?
Well, in what way?
Technically, training, investment.
Okay. I think it boils down to trust.
Let's talk about politics a little bit. And you can't talk about politics without talking about democracy in Africa. What's your perception of the prevailing democratic atmosphere in Africa? Our leaders, our political leaders.
Unfortunately, they say people deserve the leaders they get. What pool are these leaders coming from? I'm just being honest. What kind of people are we? If we're kind of people who have, a level of pride in our country, a level of trust, a level of integrity, then the leaders we choose will be different, I think. We have to start with ourselves.
I use, I'm not a use, but we have 70%, almost 60% of our population are youth. What do you think we should be doing with these guys? Some unemployed, some employed, some with some skills, but no support. What kind of support will you recommend? From individuals, from government, and from established people like you?
There's so many things that we can do with our youth, so many things. There are factories that can be built, there's farmland that can be placed in. There's so many things that we can use. I mean, and that goes back to how much love we have for our country, how much love we have for our people. And then, like I said, it's just about pride. If you have that much pride in the motherland, then all our youths are ready to work. They're not lazy. At least we can't say they're lazy because we haven't given them the opportunity. We have to say, okay, to really see that, okay, you have an opportunity. Are you ready to work? We can't tell them. We can't say it because we haven't given them the opportunity.
Finally, 5 years from now, what will Nigerian entertainment industry, music industry, what peak will it reach? How will you rate it in 5 years' time? Our entertainment industry, Hollywood, our musicians. We have lots that we have to offer.
That's a very good question. So right now, music industry is doing quite well, very well, almost in terms of same level as music industry anywhere else. And Hollywood is getting really close. It's really, really getting close. So I think in 5 years, right, we'll have a lot of partnerships. We'll have a lot of more of our stuff being out there. If we just stay the course, the way we're going now, I think in 5 years, we'll be revered around the world.
Thank you very much. I'm grateful.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. I think the bill is a good one for Nigeria. And I think that the bill will be a catalyst for business to thrive in Nigeria. So my position and my perspective to the bill would be that it will be a very positive one for Nigeria going forward. If eventually the bill scale through the legislative processes and it actually eventually become a law. So that would be my position. Thank you. Yeah, the bill will help business in different areas. Let me mention, for instance, the payee is part of cost for a business. It's part of staff cost. And for especially small businesses, which are the major backbone of the economy, the bill is proposing a reduction, that is proposing tax exemption for some category of lower staff cadre, which in essence is a cost reduction for businesses. So by that, it will help the business to thrive. Also, many people will come, by virtue of that, employ more people, which will bring a robust activity for the economy. And at the same time, there's some category of people that their tax will also be reduced compared to what is currently in operation. So it is a positive atmosphere for business. And when you look at it from the perspective of VAT too, you also see that there's going to be zero tax on some product. There's also going to be a tax exempt on some products, especially for masses, people, low-income earner. So some certain products, they're going to be exemption. There's some certain product that's going to be zero tax rated. So by that, it will bring a more robust business activity. So by it, and then it will have positive effect on business and economy in general. Yeah, the argument is important. It's very, very important. But when you look at it, fix the small business, it will encourage more small business. And also, even the 50 million turnover is not a small thing for business, though it is still small relatively to the economic activity. But it is a plus, right? And again, for business that their activity are more than 50 million, then it's good that they should pay tax and contribute little as company income tax back to the economy. Now, if their taxes are used judiciously, then it will bring more infrastructure to the economy. Then there will be development in the country. Then we'll also be able to look at the advanced country. We envy them, we look at them that they are infrastructures in places, then these things are not cheap. They are not cheap. So, but the main focus for now is that is in a positive trend. It's a positive trend. I encourage that the bill should be passed and the implementation then should be followed so that it will bring a positive effect to the economic generally and the business will thrive going forward. Well, I don't see disadvantage, but I see challenge. Okay. Yeah, one of the things is that naturally, human beings we are adverse to change. So if something is bringing a change, especially when you want to take us out of a comfort zone, we may not want to willingly agree with it. But for me, I think the positive and the benefits outweigh whatever probably challenge or the disadvantage we may envisage. So I still strongly believe that the bill is in the right direction. Oh, okay. I think from the angle of the value-added tax, what I would like to say in that area is that it will help the lower-income earners because, like I mentioned earlier, that there's some products that's going to be zero rated, which means that there is not going to be tax VAT on them. There are some that are totally tax VAT exempted. So, which means that, and these products, they are products that commonly is everybody really, but more of a masses low-income earner will know with the VAT that will have been paid on it will have been an impact on them. Then it's taking off. So I think from that perspective is also a good and a welcome one. And it, compared to what was proposed before, a general increase in the VAT rate across board. So this one is narrow it down to a particular area. So wherein it also exempt or puts zero rated on some products that are commonly used by the masses. So it's a positive direction. It's a good one.